Hey, good morning. I hope you guys are doing well. Well, I say good morning, but of course, you could be listening to this at any time. I wanted to talk today about a book that I have listened to a couple of times that have made a huge impact on where I am today and the way that I think, and basically how I function at a much higher level than I used to. It has a lot to do with staying present in the moment and not getting lost in what happened in the past and what's about to happen in the future, and trying to build those things up or correct them. As we all know, we can't control what happens tomorrow. We can't go back and fix what happened yesterday, but staying really present and being happy with the choices and exactly where you are now helps to produce the best outcome, the best future, and helps you to better resolve what may have happened yesterday. So that's what we're going to go into further today. I hope that you are excited about it as I am, because it has been life-changing for me. And let's go ahead and get going. Life is full of surprises, excitement, joy, and struggles. But you don't have to do any of it alone. Welcome to the Inspired Love, Life, and Business podcast. My name is Minden, mama to almost 3 incredible children. I'm a major cheerleader and contributor to my tribe, and I'm a lover of all things positive, creative, and inspiring. I love the 3s too, as you can imagine. Join me as I discover and share new and powerful ways to be inspired through stories of hope, courage, and love. We'll get to know some amazing people in my circle and have conversations with powerful, dominating in their fields and specialties. And I can't promise that you're going to leave without shedding a tear or feeling so ready to start living the life of your dreams. All right, are you ready? Let's get inspired. All right, guys. So if I'm to be really honest, I was struggling with a couple of different subjects that I wanted to cover today. I ultimately landed on The Power of Now from Eckhart Tolle, and that's the title of the book. Obviously, we won't be going through the entire book today, but the ultimate message from the book is being present and in the moment with yourself now, being aware of the things you're saying in your head, being very aware of what you're doing with your entire physical body, how you are putting your energy into the universe. So the reason why it was so powerful for me and how it's made an impact in my life has a lot to do with where I am today. And I say where I am today because I've battled a lot of self-deprecation, self-doubt, self-hatred. I have never been diagnosed with depression, but a lot of that comes from the fear of putting myself out there to someone who can diagnose me and who can tell me, yeah, you do have problems. You have this, and that. And for me, having the knowledge and the power to seek resources myself, to find peace for where I'm at, and knowing that I can always continue to get better by learning more, by surrounding myself with the right people, by surrounding myself with the right thoughts, the right messages, and slowing down what's happening in my mind is very powerful for me. And it's proven to make such a huge change in my life, in the way that I handle stress, the way that I deal with problems in my relationships, whether it be my mom, my dad, my coworkers, my husband, my daughter, my son, whatever it looks like. Whenever I hit a certain point of stress or conflict or something that is to become stress or conflict, I handle it in a very different way now, knowing the right tools to control my thinking and what goes on inside my mind. So it has a lot to do with several different things. And I basically start with the knowledge that our minds are always running. They're always running. There's always something going on. We're always thinking about something. The most powerful monks, though, and I use this word to say someone who has a really strong grasp on how they control their thoughts and their emotions and the way that they live life versus someone who practices Buddhism. The reason why I say that is because I myself am not a very religious person. I respect all religions. Some I truly don't understand. I'm not fully educated on why this works for somebody else. Honestly, if you're happy and you're living a good life and you're creating a positive light in my life and others, I'm good. Keep doing your thing, believing what you believe in, as long as it serves you and you're serving others instead of bringing the world down and creating problems, right? So for me, I have found it really important to pick out the pieces of religions or things that I have learned about religions, morals, virtues, things that I have picked up over the years that serve me well is what I stick with. Anyway, off on a tangent, going back to monks. The reason why I bring them up is because they do have a really powerful control of the things that they think, the way that they live life, their needs, their wants, their desires. And so with that being said, they recognize and they know whenever there is something going on in their head that doesn't serve them or extra things that they don't need to be thinking about that is either involved with the future or the past when they can just be in the present moment. And when I say that, the best way for me to give an example, the day that I realized that I was really appreciating the power of being present was when we had a dog. Some of you guys know, and some of you guys will not know, but we had a dog that we were watching for a little while until it found an awesome home. So it was about 4 months. And if you don't know, I say dog, it was a puppy. She was a puppy, and she was, I believe, around 4 weeks old when we picked her up. And she was like a baby in that you wake up in the middle of the night so that you can feed her, let her out, and take care of business. And I got used to it for several weeks, and I did it, and I was okay because I said, this is what we committed to. This is what the children wanted. I said that I would be a part of this role in this partnership if this puppy came into our lives. And it became horrible. It became something that I just hated. I love dogs. Everyone who knows me knows that I love dogs. I'm not so much a cat person. Doesn't mean there aren't cute cats out there. There are some adorable cats and kittens that I will love on and pet, but I prefer dogs because of their energy and their spirit. With all of that being said, I got lost in being upset about having this dog, the decision that I made, and just having to wake up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. when she would cry. And I just wasn't prepared mentally. I didn't have the tools to go into this relationship with this puppy the way that I wanted to treat her and give her as much love as I could. And that's a conversation for another day, by the way. I don't want to hear about how we could have done better. We were fostering her for a little bit, again, until she found a home. It wasn't a forever thing. We wanted to test it out and see how it was going to be for the kids. And she has a wonderful home now with people who really love her. So she's really happy. Anyway, back to what I was saying in terms of what I was feeling. I was beating myself up and telling myself, you should have listened to your partner when he said it was going to be really rough. This is not the life for us. We don't want fur everywhere. We don't want to have to take care of something else that is supposed to be a part of our family. We love kids. They're hard and they're rough sometimes, but we love them. And it's a very different kind of relationship that you're building. And it's one morning when I had to wake up with my puppy. I was doing the dishes and I was getting upset, and I realized I was telling myself all of these things. You should have just listened to him. Why did you do this? Oh my gosh, you're so stupid. And that sounds so harsh. And saying it now, and as many times as I say it, it will always be harsh. It's harsh to tell anyone that they're stupid. But when you're doing it in the moment to yourself, it doesn't seem seem as harsh, because if you're telling yourself it regularly, you're so used to it. It's a natural thing that comes along, and it shouldn't become natural. It shouldn't become natural to beat yourself up. It shouldn't become natural to have conversations with yourself that is just bringing you down and not serving you in any way. If it's not empowering you, if it's not bringing you up to where you want to be, to who you want to be, it shouldn't be happening. While I was doing the dishes, I recognized that I was starting to beat myself up, and I stopped. And that moment was so powerful for me because I realized this is the choice that you made. You can either make a change or you can do better. Figure out how you can do better, or find a home for her, or fully embrace the fact that you made the decision to bring home a puppy, and you're going to do the best that you can to care for her, and you can become the right person for her. If there are other families with 8 children with 3 dogs and 4 cats, if they can do it, you can too, right? You can find all of the tools. We're in 2021 at the time, and you have everything that you need. So stopping where you're at and recognizing that your thoughts don't serve you is not easy. Just with everything else, it takes practice. The more that you do it, the better you get. And then it becomes something that happens on autopilot, right? We are made to keep things simple. We are built to run. We really are built to run on autopilot. So what are we putting on autopilot? Are we beating ourselves up on autopilot, or are we raising ourselves up on autopilot? Whatever it is that we're putting on autopilot for ourselves, in most cases, that's what we're serving out to others. And you don't want to be serving out negativity, right? You don't want to be serving out bringing people down and tearing them apart. You want to be serving out things that produce results and positivity in others. That's what I want. That's what I want the people around me to serve, because they say we're our biggest critics. We're constantly thinking about what we're doing wrong, how we're doing it wrong, how we can be doing it better. And a lot of times we say it in a way that does not serve us or the people around us or our future selves. So it's something to think about. Where are we at now? How do we feel? In most cases, those of you listening to me can listen to me. You have the ability to hear, whereas there are other people who don't. A lot of you will have the ability to watch me once this video is posted, but you can see with your eyes, as I can. Right now, my children are happy and healthy, and they're having breakfast downstairs. I have so much love in my life. I have a home and a roof over my head. I have the ability to think my own thoughts. I'm recording a podcast that I've wanted to do for years. I say all this to say, when we take the time to stop and think about exactly where we are now, how we feel from the top of our heads down to our toes. Are things as bad as we're putting out in our minds, or are they so good? To think about what you are capable of doing, to think about the things that you can do, to think about the things that you can do today that you couldn't do yesterday, the opportunities that will open up for you later on if you recognize where you are now and make the most of this situation, of where you are in this moment. How are you bringing yourself to this moment? Are you laying in bed moping because you lost your job? Are you laying in your bed moping because you can't find a job? Are you laying in bed moping because you feel like you have no control of your life? Because you could very well sit up and create something for yourselves. And to me, that is very exciting. The idea that we live in 2022, the access to the things that we have, just the fact that we can share our thoughts, our stories, and use whatever skill sets we have to start a business. It starts with one person saying yes in any way to get you back up and motivated and in this moment and feeling good. Reaching out to a friend to say, hey, do you have a moment to just talk me through this? I'm going through some things. I want to get out of it. And that yes from your friend is a lot. Maybe the yes is just you taking a moment to write out your feelings and recognizing where you're at. Once you see it, once you can put words to them, it's much easier to break it down and recognize where you are so that you can pick yourself back up. I've gone in circles about being in the present, being in the now, but I think you get the idea and you understand that in terms of how we feel, where we are, if we feel defeated, if we feel stuck, any of the things that are holding us back can be corrected, can be resolved, can end when we start to recognize the fact that we are living, we are breathing, we have the capacity to recognize where we are and that we can get out of it. And that's the beauty in being a human. That's the beauty in being a thinking, acting, doing creature, is that we can take control of our thoughts, which takes control of our actions, which then controls our lives. So I've been reading and hearing a lot of things that remind me that what you put in is what you're going to get out. And it's so true, not just in the physical sense, but in the spiritual and mental, emotional sense, and mental too. What you're thinking about, the things that you put in your head, the things you put in your body, the things you say to yourself, what you read on social media, what you read in entertainment, what you watch, what you listen to, all of those things matter. I was watching a TED Talk here recently, and I will find the link to share it with you guys. But he says we are programmable creatures, not by choice. We're programmable. That's just period. We can't control the fact that we're programmable. But what we can control is what kind of programming is happening to us. So are we watching things where women and men are beating up on each other? People are beating up on each other. Children are being torn down? Or are we watching things that are inspiring us to do better and live better lives, to be able to put good into the universe, to help that to swirl around us, to help to amplify the good? I often think whenever negative situations are brought to me, because there are a lot of bad things going on in the world, I think, if I don't recognize this stuff, if I don't learn more about it, if I don't watch the news, then how am I staying abreast of what's going on? And this TED Talk touched on that, which was really great because it was only like 18 minutes, I believe. He says there's always going to be bad things happening in the world. It's all the same stuff, but happening to different people in a different time. But there's also so much good happening in the world. So what are we choosing to focus on? Because the bad things that we need to focus on, the bad things that will affect us, the bad things that are meant to be in our world will come to us. And I say that in a way that the bad things will come so that it will empower us to live better lives, to make the difference that we were meant to make, whatever it means. I don't mean to attract bad things. What I mean is whatever is meant to come to us will. But when we have the control to choose, what are we choosing? What are we choosing? Because another saying I really love too is you're going to find what you're looking for. You will always find what you're looking for, except for your keys. When you lose your keys or anything that you tangible that you really need to find, you don't ever find it until you're not looking for it. But that's, anyway, so it's really interesting if you take the time to pause and think about what you want. Think about what you're thinking about. What are you going to get rid of? What are you going to continue to think about? What are you no longer going to think about? Are you telling yourself beautiful things? Or could you really change the conversation you're having with yourself? Are you finding any time to not have conversations with yourself? Are you finding any time to just sit and breathe and feel your body from each individual toenail to the tip of your nose, to the ends of your fingertips, your elbow, your knees, understanding your body and feeling and being present without having any thoughts of how am I going to get this done today? Oh my gosh, this month, it's already June. How am I going to make the most of this year? I've wasted so much of it. Whatever it is, you can stop and you can flip it around. But most importantly, when you stop and you recognize that it's happening, that is the beauty in it all. There's so much that I want to go into because I just love this subject so much. Surrounding yourself with love and beauty and positive thoughts. That's just, it delights me so much. But of course, this is one podcast and I don't want to burden you with so much, even though my partner says you should do a 3-hour podcast. That's what everyone's doing. That is the way to go about it. I'm like, that is extremely overwhelming. And to think of doing even a 1-hour podcast is crazy right now. So let's just start small. We're going to start where we're at. We're going to stay consistent, and we can change the increments, whether it's multiple podcasts or longer podcasts. We'll get there. But in order for me to tell good things to myself, these podcasts need to start small, where I can talk confidently about what I've learned and what I want to share with my audience, what I want to share with you guys to help you to live the fullest and inspired love, life, and business. And I think that's a wonderful place to end. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. There are new episodes every Wednesday. And I say channel, my podcast, but also I am on YouTube. We're working on optimizing it, making it super easy and fun to get through. If you want to watch my face, my hand gestures, and my background as I change it up because I love design, you're welcome to stop by YouTube. Those posts are much slower going than me editing audio and getting that out, but it will get much better. We're going to have a lot more coming up on our YouTube channel, including lipstick, lifestyle, more love, more business, more mommy life stuff, inspirational things to get you going. If you found this session, this podcast, this episode helpful in any way, or any of the previous episodes, please, I would absolutely love it if you could share it with others, anyone else that you know. And if you happen to really love it and would like to share feedback, we'd love to see a review and share your thoughts, because I want to do better. I want to become better, just like you guys. I know that's why you're here as well. So let me know. And I would love to continue to bring really awesome content, connect, and share more of the people that I love and things that I've learned to help to get to a life that I really love and to get you guys there as well. So thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again next week. And in between, we'll be on social media, connecting there, right? Having conversations, exploring more positivity possibilities in life, love, and in business. All right, let's get inspired. Thank you so much for joining me for another powerful conversation on all things positive, inspiring, enlightening, and powerful in relation to love, life, and business. I hope that you took something really important away from this conversation. Maybe you'll be able to take some action. But if you're not ready to end the conversation here, don't forget you can always join me on social media. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube at Inspired Lolibu. That's Inspired Lolibu for love, life, and business. Thank you so much again for listening. I so appreciate your support, and I'd love to know your thoughts and comments. Leave them below or send me an email at Nhin, Nhin, at rainbowreveal.com. I will read every single email that comes in, and I am always on social in my comment section and replying and showing love. Again, like I always say to my community and to my tribe, I love and support each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here and supporting me. We'll see you next time.